Complete worldview in adult love. Two adults with a healthy worldview love each other. It can be seen that the love in our lives doesn't seem to be so heavy. Adachi, the male lead of the movie, has a line like this: "I feel like people attach too much importance to love. I've never been in love, I'm still very happy." Kurosawa has been secretly in love for 7 years, but has never been late for work, never letting himself sink into the sadness of love that can't be obtained. He has always done his job well, still leading the sales department for 5 years in a row. Even though Adachi had a cold for 2 days, he was heartbroken because of the misunderstanding that Kurosawa was back with his ex-girlfriend, but still went to work as usual. Kurosawa only took care of Adachi for 1 night, then did not advise him to take sick leave, but Kurosawa stayed up all night to take care of patients without affecting his work. After Kurosawa confessed and thought that he had failed, he must be very sad in his heart, but the movie only filmed a small part of him alone on the road. Maybe when he gets home that night, he will still continue to prepare ppts. The next day he will still fluently present a new project. Everything must be perfect, and the smile must be bright. Both people have the life they want. This is the complete value of an adult. Each person has something they want to do, has their own thoughts and certain goals to pursue. Love is not the most important thing in life. Without love, the world cannot collapse. So, what does love mean? I feel this is a kind of embellishment to life. With love appearing, life will be better. In episode 1, 30-year-old Kurosawa appeared with a tough inner self. Being a mature, but not overbearing person, he can calmly oppose his senior, making the opponent feel pressured but not to the point of awkwardness. He is no longer too concerned with other people's affirmations, not because of anyone's judgment but doing things that are against his own standards. But 7 years ago, Kurosawa was very stubborn about others only appreciate my looks. When he went to school, he achieved all the awards he could win, such as swimming, baseball, football, not because he liked sports very much, but just because he wanted to prove himself. 7 years ago, in the scene when he first went to work, there were some thank you notes on his desk. Kurosawa was still working overtime. These things show that he wants others to praise his ability, wants to be recognized by the world. On that banquet table, he fiercely protested the harassing action of the rich customer. But when he heard that his colleagues were not satisfied with his resistance, they thought that just selling his face was so simple that he could not do it. At that time he was very upset. The world once again did not recognize Kurosawa. If you have encountered such difficulties, then just rely on the face and follow the implication of the rich customer to sell the goods. Kurosawa definitely didn't do that. It was just that at that time, he couldn't control his emotions, so he fell into a state of resentful and self-denial, extremely sad mood. It was at this moment that Adachi appeared and pulled him back to the right trajectory, to the right path that he always persevered on. Yes, he knew very well the information of the enemy company's products. He himself gave up money to buy products to experience. On the party table also helps to save alcohol for colleagues who are less alcoholic. He always does what he considers to be right. The last thing happened to this extent that he was the victim. He really had a lot of resentment. So, while Adachi patted his chest to comfort him as if to comfort a child, his tears also began to fall to release the emotions he had suppressed for so long. But this is not the end of the story. Kurosawa still had to think about how not to drink too much when going to receive guests, how to easily refuse without making the other person uncomfortable, how to discuss important matters immediately after making the atmosphere become more awkward. Should be comfortable. These issues all need self-study and self-improvement. So 7 years later, when he had a problem with Mont Blanc cake, he could still face the customer's anger, sincerely admit his fault, hope to continue the exchange, but absolutely do not appear weak. Least. This is a sign that he has gradually improved himself. As for Adachi, it wasn't until the age of 30 that he began to feel love. But before that, he still had his own complete worldview, had requirements for life and himself. In fact, he was already very good. But because of his normal ability, too attentive to others, not trying to compete or stand out, often being pushed by others for things he does not want to do, so he always lowers himself and lacks confidence. Magic helps him realize Kurosawa's love, hear his honest and correct evaluations of him. Gradually, he builds up confidence in himself. Yes, you can do it too, you can also help others, you can also refuse others. If the plot continues to drag on, maybe he will also know how to pursue his career goals. After gaining courage and doing a few things well, maybe it's because I'm also nearly 30 years old. Every time I watch a romantic movie like Two Lovers Enter and then I don't care about anything else, I always want to cling to each other every day. Even daily activities can't take care of themselves, I will feel very frustrated. The world is complete in adult love. The first thing needed are two independent personalities, each with their own views and goals. Love is what helps us to withstand times of displeasure, where both sides show their weakness and trust in each other, is emotionally connected and complements each other, is to share every little thing picked up in life. But love is not everything, nor is it the only fulcrum. Loss of love, work and career, personal interests, friends and family, can all become fulcrums. The world does not fall because of that.